Hello students, welcome to All Force e-learning channel. This is K. Nageshwar Rao, your physics faculty. Today we are about to deal with the session number 42, first year NEET. Till previous sessions, we have discussed about motion under gravity related applications, isn't it? So today also I am going to pick up one application. This is called as specifically tower model. Tower model. What I am going to do is I am going to project a body from the top of a tower. Okay. So let me consider one tower. Let its height is equal to h. The height of the tower is how much? H. From the top of the tower, from here, a body is projected in the upward direction. Let us say with a velocity u, it is projected. What happens? It goes to a certain height and it falls back, isn't it? Let us say this is where it is touching the foot of the tower. This is the tower. Okay, so this is where it is touching the foot of the tower. This is the point of projection. I will take this point of projection as O. Okay, O. So finally, where it is falling? It is falling at the foot of the tower. So if I wanted to find out time after which it strikes the ground or velocity with which it strikes the ground, all these things you can explore. Let us try to explore one by one. Here, with respect to this point, when the body is projected in the upward direction, it is going in the upward direction, and while coming back, it is crossing this point and it is going in the downward direction. So corresponding to that point, two different directions are there. One is in the upward direction, the other one during return journey, it is passing through the point, in the downward direction. So I will imagine this as origin. Okay, this has origin. So this is what initial position and this is final position. Okay, so now what is the displacement? And displacement you are measuring in the downward direction. So you can take that displacement as minus h. Displacement can be taken as minus h. Because I have assumed this as origin and it is projected in the upward direction. So upward direction I am taking it as positive, downward direction I am taking it as negative corresponding to that origin. And when you measure displacement of the body, this is the initial position, this is the final position. So when you measure from initial to final position, you can take it as minus h. And this minus h is equal to, using which equation? S is equal to ut plus half at square. I am making use of this equation. Here displacement is minus h and what is the initial velocity u? Let time of journey is t. It is projected in the upward direction, right? So if it is projected in the upward direction, a will be replaced with a minus g. So you will have half minus half gt square. So this is how you are supposed to frame the equation. And later, I'll shuffle this equation a little bit. See, I'll multiply with minus sign on both the sides. You will have h is equal to minus ut plus half gt square, isn't it? So let me shuffle this a little bit more. 2h is equal to minus 2ut plus gt square. And this equation now it can be written as gt square minus 2ut. I'm taking this 2h to the RHS side. It becomes minus 2h equal to 0. Now it is a quadratic equation in terms of t. Okay, and you know how to solve this quadratic equation. So this can be written as, if you solve for t can be written as minus b plus or minus under root b square minus 4ac by 2a. So here in place of b, what do we have? 2u. Minus b, already minus sign is there. Minus of minus, it becomes plus 2u plus or minus under root b square. 2u square, you will have 4u square minus 4ac. A is what? G. C is what? Minus 2h. Minus 2h. So minus into minus plus 4 2s are 8 gh. So this is what the numerator part is, and the denominator is what? 2a. A is what? G. So 2g. So let me simplify this further. 2u plus or minus, from this part you can take out 4. Once you take out 4, what happens? Under root 4 will be 2. So now you will have 2 into u square plus here 2gh, because you have taken out 4. 4 2s here. 4 comes out, 2 is left there. So 2gh by 2g. You can take out 2 from the numerator, and that 2 and the denominator 2 both gets cancelled, and finally the t is this one, u plus or minus under root u square plus 2gh by g. Okay, since plus or minus, these two possibilities are there, it means two roots are possible. So here, very carefully we have to choose one of the possible root. See, under root u square plus 2gh is definitely greater than u. Definitely, if you are having under root u square, for example, it's equal to what? U. U square plus something is there, 2gh, some value is there. So definitely under root u square plus 2gh will be greater than u. if this is greater than u, if you consider negative sign, u minus something which is greater than u will, u minus something which is greater than u will yield a negative value, and here we are dealing with the time. Time cannot be negative. So you cannot consider this negative sign here. Okay. If at all, if you wanted to consider for that negative sign, for that also there is a different explanation. Physical significance can be identified, but let us, for a time being, let us understand this part like this. So since t cannot be, time cannot be negative, I am going to ignore this negative sign. If I consider this negative sign, u minus of this term will be negative finally. U minus larger value will be negative. So I am going to consider plus, so that time will be plus. So let me do that. T is equal to what? Finally, time of flight. Time of flight in the sense, time taken for this displacement minus h, or time taken by the body to reach the foot of the tower is equal to u, I am considering only plus sign, under root u square plus 2gh by z. And this is what a very important conclusion connected with this tower model, time of flight. There are problems connected with this one. Okay, there is one model called balloon model, I will tell you that. So time of flight is equal to u plus under root u square plus 2gh by g. Now let us try to find out with what velocity it strikes the ground, velocity with which it strikes the ground. You can find out that, see, in the previous sessions we have come to one conclusion. If a body is projected from a point with a velocity u, during return journey it crosses that point with the same velocity. So here in the downward direction, how much velocity the body possesses? U only, u only. If that is the situation, corresponding to this part of the journey from here to here, this one is initial velocity and the final velocity I will take it as v. Final velocity I will take it as v. So if that is the situation, how we can write a relation, a equation for v and u, v square minus u square is equal to, since it is a downward motion, plus g will come, so you will have 2g. How much is the distance traveled? H. Okay, so from this equation what you can write, v square is equal to u square plus 2gh, or v is equal to under root u square plus 2gh. So this is the expression for what? Final velocity with which the body strikes the surface of the foot of the tower. Okay, right. Now let us find out one more thing. Velocity of the body after a time t. Since v is equal to u plus at, this is the equation. What I am talking about? I am talking about the velocity of the body after a time t. So let us say it is v only. With what velocity it is projected? With a velocity u. Since it is projected in the upward direction, you have to replace a with what? Minus g. So this is the expression for velocity of the body after a time equal to t. Okay. So these are certain key points connected with the tower model. Now I am going to consider one special application connected with this tower model. It's a balloon, hot air balloon. I hope all of you know what a hot air balloon is. So this is how it appears. There will be a basket, something like this. Ropes will be, some kind of rope arrangement will be there, and you will have a balloon, something like this. Okay, a balloon, and people will be standing inside the basket. They, if they wanted to glide from one place to the other place, they can use this hot air balloon. What they will do, inside this basket there will be a source of heat that generates heat energy, and when that heat energy is pumped into the balloon, whatever air is present inside the balloon that gets heated up, its density decreases, it goes to the top. The hot air, it starts lifting the balloon in the upward direction, so it goes in the upward direction. Let us say this is the ground, and from here they started, these people started in our hot air balloon and they are going in the upward direction. They are going in the upward direction. After reaching certain height, let us say a height equal to h, they have traveled up to a height equal to h, or in this situation it would be more appropriate if you take this h from up to the brim of the basket, up to here. Let us say this is at a height equal to h. From here, let us say a person has pushed a coin out of the basket. What was done? A person who is there inside the basket, hot air balloon basket, he pushed a coin out of the basket. When the coin is being pushed out of the basket, what is happening? The hot air balloon is going in the upward direction. So when it is going in the upward direction, what happens? Though the coin is pushed from the basket, for a while, very small distance, the coin covers in the upward direction and then it falls like this. It happens, all this is because of inertia. When you get down from a moving bus, what happens? Along with the bus, you will travel some distance and then you will come to rest position. All of a sudden, you don't come to rest position, isn't it? It happens. So when the coin is pushed from the basket, what happens? Immediately, if this is the edge of the basket, you don't expect the coin to come down like this. Since the basket is going upward direction, when you push the coin also travels in the upward direction, along with the basket, and then it falls. So now imagine the trajectory. How the trajectory of the coin is going to appear? It is going to appear like this. It is going to appear like this. So whatever hot air balloon model is there, you can perfectly synchronize this model with this tower model. Okay, like it appears as if the coin is projected in the upward direction with a velocity u from a height equal to h. When you are pushing the coin from the hot air balloon, it resembles with what situation? It resembles with this situation. Okay, so what is the velocity with which the coin is traveling in the upward direction? The velocity with which the balloon is moving in the upward direction. With the same velocity, it travels in the upward direction. That is what you can take it as velocity of projection of the coin in the upward direction. Okay, whatever balloon's velocity is there, with the same velocity. Even when you are traveling inside a bus, though you are sitting inside the bus, with whatever velocity the bus is moving, you are also moving with the same velocity. When you are doing footboarding in the sense some people they travel standing at the entry of the bus. Okay, so suddenly when they get down from the moving bus, just before they got down from the moving bus, whatever bus velocity is present, with the same velocity, they will also move certain distance, and then they oppose the motion, they resist the motion, and they will come to rest position. Okay, so all that you need to understand is whatever hot air balloon model we were talking about, this model perfectly synchronizes with this situation. When the coin is pushed from the basket, the coin's path, it appears something like this. Okay, now let us understand this situation. If a balloon is moving in the upward direction with a velocity u, okay, so perfectly what happens? It synchronizes with the tower model. Okay, whatever equations are there here, if you are asked to find out what is the time of flight of the coin or the time in which it reaches the surface of the ground, then this is the equation you have to use. U plus under root u square plus 2gh by g. If he is asking about the velocity with which it strikes the ground, this is the equation you have to use to find out velocity with which the coin strikes the ground. V is equal to under root u square plus 2gh. If you are supposed to find out velocity at any time t, this is the equation you need to use. Now imagine one more thing. When the coin is traveling in the downward direction, balloon is not in rest position. Hot air balloon, it moves, it is continuously moving. Okay, let us talk about one situation here. Let us say this is the surface. This is the point which is at a height equal to h. After reaching this point from the hot air balloon, a coin is pushed. Okay, so the coin has traveled like this and it fell on the ground. Okay, and the hot air balloon during this time, when the coin is traveling in the downward direction, during that time, let us say the hot air balloon further traveled a distance equal to x. Further, how much distance the hot air balloon has traveled? X. So in a time equal to time of flight of the coin, to what height the hot air balloon has gone? This could be one of the question. So at what height it will be from the ground during this time of flight? It will be at a height equal to h plus x. At a height equal to h plus x. And what is this h? Here we have written, see, this h can be written as minus ut plus half gt square. Half gt square. What about this x? X is what? Distance traveled in the upward direction. Here hot air balloon, it is traveling in the upward direction with a constant velocity u. If it is traveling with a constant velocity u, in a time equal to t, how much distance it will cover? Ut. How much distance it will cover? Ut. So plus ut minus ut gets cancelled. So this is the separation between the coin and the hot air balloon. Coin is present here. It has it has reached the ground, and hot air balloon is somewhere here. And what is the distance of separation between the coin and the hot air balloon? H plus x, and that h plus x is equal to how much? Half gt square. Okay, so these are certain key points connected with the hot air balloon. Let us try one problem. Okay, I'll imagine that a hot air balloon, it is in accelerated motion. It is going in the upward direction with an acceleration equal to a equal to g by 8. Okay, so after a time t equal to 8 seconds, let us say a coin is pushed from the hot air balloon. Okay, so let us try to find out the time of flight of the coin, or the time in which it strikes the ground. Okay, so if you wanted to find out the time of flight, you need velocity with which the balloon is traveling, okay, when the coin is pushed from the basket of the balloon, isn't it? So to find out that velocity, we can try that. Usually hot air balloon, it starts from rest position. From the ground, it starts from rest position. So you can take here initial velocity as 0. U initial can be taken as 0. If that is the situation, if you wanted to find out velocity of the hot air balloon after a time equal to t equal to 8 seconds, you can find out how it can be calculated. Tell me. Since v is equal to u, it is going in the upward direction, okay, with an acceleration a equal to g by 8. V is equal to u plus 8. This is what equation you are going to use, right? And one more thing, children, though the balloon is going in the upward direction, here I am not going to replace a with minus g, because here force of gravity has been overcome and it is going on its own. Whatever net force is generated with the help of heat energy, with that net force it is going in the upward direction, okay, and with what acceleration it is going? With an acceleration equal to g by 8. So in these cases, not only in this case, in the case of rocket, okay, you can directly, whatever acceleration he has given, you can replace that acceleration here. Acceleration in the sense what? Acceleration is equal to g by 8 in the sense what? Slowly it is speeding up, its velocity is increasing, so you have to replace a with plus a only. Okay, so velocity after a time equal to what? 8 seconds. Initially, what is the velocity at the ground when it has started? U is 0, so v can be written as velocity after a time equal to t can be written as a is how much? G by 8. T is how much? 8 seconds. 8 gets cancelled. So velocity is equal to magnitude of g, 9.8. Okay, so that is the velocity with which the balloon was traveling when the coin is pushed out. It means in this equation, whatever u is there, that u can be now replaced with what? G. That u can be now replaced with what? G. So in this equation, time of flight equation, we were having two unknown parameters. One is u. We have figured it out. What is u? U is what? G. The other parameter is h. We don't know to what height it has reached in a time equal to 8 seconds. In a time t equal to 8 seconds, to what height it has gone, we don't know that. So let us find out that. Since h is equal to ut plus half at square. Remember children, here also I am not going to replace a with minus g, because the balloon is in accelerated motion. Usually if you throw a body, what happens? Its velocity gradually decreases, so that you are replacing a with minus g. Once you are projecting a body with a velocity u, it is not under your control. But this balloon can be controlled by me. I am there inside, I am changing everything, I am increasing, I am giving whatever required thrust is required, I am giving that. I am taking the balloon in accelerated motion. Okay, so here this situation is different from vertically projected body. Once the body is released from your hand, it is not under your control. The gravity controls. And here the gravity's effect has been overcome, and the balloon is going on its own, in the upward direction with an acceleration a equal to g by 8. So here also you have to keep this a as it is. No need to replace a with a g or something like that. So h is equal to initial velocity is what? 0. So it becomes 0. Half into a is what? A is equal to g by 8 into t square, and t is given already. How much is t? 8 seconds. So 8 square, both gets cancelled, 2 4s are, so 4g is the answer. So height is equal to how much? 4c. Now we have required values. The velocity with which the coin is projected in the upward direction, it's u, and here what do this v and u both are same here in the present situation. So that u can be replaced with g, h can be replaced with the 4g. Let us try that. So time is equal to time after which the coin reaches the ground is equal to u can be replaced with what, beta? G. You can replace with z. G plus under root g square plus 2g. H is how much? 4g by g. G plus under root g square plus, here 2 4s are 8g square. 8g square plus g square, 9g square by g. It is equal to g plus, it's under root 9g square is 3g by g. So finally we'll have 4g by g. G gets cancelled. The answer is 4 seconds. So time of flight of the coin is equal to how much? 4 seconds. Okay. So this is how tower model and corresponding balloon model applications can be handled. Okay. So all that you need to remember is a balloon model, whatever balloon model that we will be seeing, that exactly resembles with the tower model, if you imagine the trajectory of the coin, that exactly matches with this kind of trajectory. Okay, so now let us further discuss about one more situation. Here I am going to project 3 bodies simultaneously from the top of a tower, but in 3 different ways I am going to project them. One body I will project in the upward direction with a velocity u. The other body I will project with a velocity u in the downward direction. The third one I will just drop it. Okay, so obviously these 3 different bodies will travel to the surface in 3 different times. Okay, so let us try to understand the details connected with this model. Okay, so here I am going to consider a tower. See, one tower is taken like this. Let us say its height is h. Height of the tower is equal to h. So from here a body is projected like this in the upward direction, and what happens eventually, it reaches the surface like this. This is where it is striking. Let us say it is projected in the upward direction with a velocity equal to u. Okay, so this is how it has traveled. It is exactly resembles with whatever tower model we have discussed now. The other body, I will draw one more same tower diagram. The other body is projected downwards with a velocity equal to u. It's not dropped, it's projected. Height of this tower is also h only. The third one, it's dropped. It means its initial velocity equal to 0. The third one is dropped. So definitely in these 3 situations, times of journeys will be different. Okay, corresponding to this model, tower model, we can write expression for h. H can be written as how? H can be written as, let us say, time of journey corresponding to this one is t1 seconds, corresponding to this t2 seconds, corresponding to this t3 seconds. Let us imagine like that. Okay, so corresponding to this first one, h can be written as, we have seen already equation in earlier, minus u, how much is the time taken? T1 plus half g T1 square. That's how it can be written. Actually, it is minus h is equal to plus u T1 minus half g T1 square, and when you multiply with the minus, and this is what you will get. For the second one, let me take this as equation number 1. For the second situation, h can be written as, what is the velocity with which it is projected in the downward direction? U. In how much time it is reaching the ground? T2. So u into T2, since it is a downward projection, you will have plus g. So half g T2 square. Let us take it as equation number 2. In the last case, h can be written as, initial velocity is 0. So ut term won't be there. You will have simply half g, what is the time of journey? T3. So T3 square. Let us take it as equation number 2. Equation number 3, sorry. Now, I'll multiply equation 1 with T2 and equation 2 with T1. And then I will add. Okay. And then what I'm going to do? I'm going to add these 2 things. Let me multiply. If I multiply here, what I will get? H with what I have to multiply? Equation 1 should be multiplied with the T2. So h T2 is equal to minus u T1 T2 plus half g T1 square T2. And if I multiply equation 2 with T1, what I will get? H T1 is equal to u T2 T1 plus half g T2 square into T1. Let me add these 2 equations. If I add, I can take out h common. You will have T1 plus T2 is equal to, these 2 terms gets cancelled, minus u T1 T2 plus u T2 T1. These 2 terms gets cancelled, and if you add these 2 things, what you will have? Half g T1 T2 can be taken out common. Here 1 T1 is left, plus here 1 T2 is left. Now T1 plus T2 gets cancelled, and finally h comes out to be as, in terms of T1 T2, half g T1 T2. So this can be one, this can be considered as one conclusion corresponding to this situation. Okay, so now let us try to explore the other points. Like, let me take this as equation number 4. I will compare these 2 equations, equation 3 and 4. LHS parts are equal, so RHS will be equal, isn't it? So half, or first I will consider this one, half g T3 square is equal to half g T1 T2. Half g T1 T2. Half g gets cancelled. T3 is equal to under root T1 T2. So this is what the relation between all these times, T1, T2, T3. T1, T2, T3, they belong to 3 different possibilities, isn't it? 3 different situations. Now, the other thing that we can explore is, here also, LHS parts are equal. So I'll equate RHS parts corresponding to equation 1 and 2. If I equate them, what I will get? Minus UT1 plus half g t1 square is equal to u t2 plus half g t2 square. Okay, I will take this towards what RHS side, then you will have u common, you can take out u common, t2 minus, sorry, t2 plus t1, isn't it? t2 plus t1, because minus u t1, it goes to the RHS side, it becomes plus u t1 is equal to, I will bring this towards what LHS side, half g can be taken out common, then you will have t1 square, since it is coming towards LHS side, you will have minus t2 square, and this can be further written as half g into t1 plus t2 into t1 minus t2, and here u t2 plus t1. So these two things gets cancelled, therefore u is equal to half g t1 minus t2. That's how you can express initial velocity, or the time difference between the first case and second case, t1 minus t2 can be written as 2u by g. So these are the possible details that we can explore in this case. Okay, so here what we are doing, we are simultaneously projecting three bodies in three different fashions. One is projected in the upward direction, the other one is projected in the downward direction, the third one is just dropped. Okay, so with this session, with this discussion, I will close this session. In the next session, we will try to discuss some problems. Thank you, students.